Hi peaches, it's Shaaba. Welcome back to my channel and thank you for clicking on another video. Happy Monday, and are you ready to go fishing for some AITAs? That's right, it's that weekly segment where we take a look at the AITA subreddit because it's a little bit of juicy drama, it's a little bit of fun, also hopefully expands our own mindsets whilst helping some other people out along the way. If this is not your first rodeo right here on AITA, we're going to dive right in because you'll know exactly what we're getting up to, and if it is your first rodeo, then you're going to figure it out pretty soon, alright? Let's go. Am I the arsehole for refusing to enforce a dress code in my own business? How do you feel about uniforms and dress codes? And I'm not talking about like, oh, I love a man in uniform. I mean, like, how do you feel about wearing one? Because me personally, I'm in two mindsets about it. There's one aspect of me that loves the idea of not having to like stress over what I'm wearing and to feel like pressure to express in a way that makes me feel like I'm living up to my standard, you know? Because in school, when I just had to wear the same old boring jumper and tie and skirt or trousers or whatever, it was easy. I say it was easy because it's something that I felt comfortable wearing. I liked baggy jumpers. I could get my school jumper super baggy. I could wear super baggy trousers. But when I was working in a law firm and the dress code was, you know, like tights and hair perfectly in place and certainly not pink hair, I struggle with that one a lot. So let's see, I'm intrigued. I, 28-year-old man, have been the owner of my own small restaurant for about a year and a half. Congratulations, my love. That sounds like a very difficult thing to do. It's not a fancy place by a long shot and I don't have that much staff. I am the chef, a kitchen assistant, a dishwasher and a couple of servers. You are a couple of servers. Oh no, wait, I read that wrong. I am the chef and there is a kitchen assistant, a dishwasher and a couple of servers. I got it. I was like, wow, that is entrepreneuring. The uniform is just a white polo shirt with the logo and a black or grey bottom, be it pants, skirt, shorts, whatever. See, like that feels like a uniform that I could get on board with, you know? Like if I can wear comfy shoes, if I can choose the style of things that kind of fit me and it's just like, you know, wear like a neutral coloured this, fine. One of the two servers, Mary, 26-year-old woman, has been a family friend since we were children. A few years ago, she was in a bad car accident and it left her with scarring. She's very self-conscious about it and often wears a long-sleeved shirt underneath her polo and pants. It's perfectly fine as long as she's comfortable. Okay, I'm really glad that you said it was fine because my head was like, are you making her reveal scars where she doesn't feel confident doing that? That's not okay. Though in a related but separate note, I love scar pride. I think it's quite cool when people show off their scars. It made me feel a lot more confident showing off mine to see others. Let's read on. A few weeks ago, I hired Laura, 21-year-old woman, and sometimes she shows up wearing shorts or a skirt. It's quite hot where we are. Nothing overboard, just normal shorts and skirts. Okay, so Mary, Laura, similar age. Where's this going? Well, a few days ago, Mary came to me complaining that Laura put her at a disadvantage with the tips and shouldn't be allowed to wear such revealing outfits to work. Mary! I told her I wasn't going to make Laura change the clothes that she feels comfortable wearing. Go you, OP. Mary got really upset and just walked out right there and then. I've been trying to call her, but she's not answering me, and I wonder if I was the arsehole. OP, you are not the arsehole. I'm disappointed. So much for like girl power and holding each other up. It saddens me. The things are saddening me on multiple levels. One, if there's any element of truth that having short skirts or short shorts means that being revealing is getting Laura additional tips, maybe she's just really kind and good at her job and is, you know, like hustling hard because she's new. That is the optimist in me. The cynicist in me is like, oh yeah, we do live in a world in which showing off some leg means that you get more tips. And then my multi-layer of sadness, my lasagna of sadness, if you will, is that Mary is like having a go at Laura for that. That's not okay. Just because society treats you one way doesn't mean that you shouldn't be able to express in the way that you want to express. I'm not gonna lie, I'm being ageist, but I didn't expect this to come from Mary at the age of 26. You know, you'd think being a waiter in this generation, she's clearly got more experience than Laura in this sense, you know, specifically at this restaurant. She should know that it's not Laura to blame here. Also, I have not been waiting staff. Ever. But I'm pretty certain that like in restaurants, don't people have like sections? So people aren't really competing for tips anyway, because if someone's put in a section and then you're put in another section, then you just get the tips for that section, right? I don't know. But I do know, OP, you're not the arsehole. What would absolutely have made you the arsehole is if you turned around and insisted that a woman dressed a certain way that was seemingly less provocative in order to get less tips to be more equal with someone else who doesn't feel comfortable. Like what on earth is Mary thinking if she just put herself in your shoes and thought about what that conversation would sound like just for a second? I'm hoping she would see that it would have crossed so many boundaries. Is Laura aware of all of this? Because I feel like there's going to be a lot of like politics and tension going on as a result of Mary's walkout. You have a loose dress code which Mary herself has benefited from. It seems that she wants you to enforce a double standard. I don't think you are being unreasonable, and if Mary and Laura have their own sections to serve, there we go. They're not actually competing head to head for tips. No customer who fails to tip Mary is then going to go over to Laura's section and tip her. Yes, Laura might be pulling in more tips a night. That's the way the cookie crumbles. And as I said, maybe Laura's just better at her job. Maybe she's just got like this bubbliness to her that's making her more charismatic and getting more of the tips because she's hustling harder because she's new. I mean, that doesn't sound totally unfeasible to me. And I really hate the idea that Mary's trying to tear another woman down instead of being like, go you for getting so many tips. You know, like that's not okay. If Mary, you're uncomfortable about yourself, don't take that out on other women who are killing it in the workplace. No. Alright, let's move on. Hopefully this one will be happier. What am I thinking? We're on Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for ruining my sister's family? And ruining my sister's family is in the Bonnie quotes. I'm a 20-year-old woman. My sister, 28. I'll call her Vicky, and her now ex, 29-year-old man, I'll call him Joe. They were together for 9 years and they've got 2 kids together. Last year, Vicky found out that Joe had been cheating on her with a co-worker. Ooh. When Vicky discovered that Joe was cheating, she was 8 months pregnant. Joe! And she took herself and her daughter halfway across the country to stay with our parents. A few months after this, Joe moved out to the same state and got his own place in an effort to try and keep the family together. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like Joe's doing the right thing by trying now, but Joe, you messed up, dude. Why'd you do that? We were having a chat about this. Jimmy was saying to me the other day, I just don't get why people cheat. I just don't understand how some people do not have the willpower to not respect their partner, but I think willpower is very different to respect. That's a whole video in itself. Let's keep on going with the story. My parents were very supportive of them trying to work things out for the sake of the kids. Yeah, I feel a certain way about that too. Oh, I feel very opinionated today. Look, if you have a family unit and there's trouble in the waters and that trouble can be easily fixed and you can get to being a very healthy, functioning family dynamic, cool, you work things out. However, if there are underlying tensions, if there are fractures in the foundation of a relationship, that means that this makeup is not real, is not genuine, is always going to be on very rocky grounds because deep down you both know that something's going to go on, and there is just going to be a lot of resentment. And that resentment has a rippling impact that affects not only you as the couple, but also the rest of the family unit. And I just think that's really unfair on kids. So, you know, it's a case-by-case basis. I don't agree with the parents' idea if it's a blanket rule of, let's just keep the family together, because often when people say that, they're not doing it for your benefit. They're doing it for their own sense of reputation, and that's not okay. Reading on, things seem to be going well. Vicky and the kids would go and stay with Joe on his days off. When I asked for advice from Vicky, I would always advise her with caution because I had no trust or respect for Joe after what he did. This was always met with anger from my sister, and I eventually gave up trying to reason with her. About 2 months ago, my boyfriend, 25, and I also moved to the state that my family resides in, and I'm currently 6 months pregnant with my first child, and I wanted to be closer to my family. Cute. Congratulations. A week ago, my boyfriend and I went out for dinner and we saw Joe with another woman. God damn it, Joe. I took photos and sent them to Vicky, telling her that I don't know what the context is. It definitely looks like a date. When Vicky confronted Joe, he was honest and told her that she was a girl that he'd met and taken interest in and that it was a date. No, Joe. Initially, I was just like, OP, why would you do that without knowing? But I guess you had enough. It was a big hunch. It was a big vibe. And if I were Vicky, I'd appreciate being told. Vicky was hurt and begged him to still continue trying to work things out with her, to which he agreed and supposedly cut off communication with the girl. Oh, sounds like Vicky needs a pep talk and some self-worth here. Now, where I may be the asshole is that a couple of days ago after this, Joe called me to apologise for what I saw and the position that he put me in. That sounds very, mature for someone who's now cheated twice that we know of. I'm not saying he's right, I'm just confused. He also asked me what I thought he should do. He was on speaker and my boyfriend and I both had a conversation with him where we pretty much advised him that if he didn't truly want to be in a relationship with Vicky, he needed to let her go. This is good advice, because as I said before, see, that those foundations were not repaired. They were very much cracked. More pain is happening, and ultimately this is affecting not just Vicky, but also the kids. That's not fair on all 3 of them. Joe said his reasoning for trying was for the kids' sake, and we told him that watching their parents go through this back and forth is going to hurt them more than help them in the end. Say it again, louder for the people in the back. That same night, Joe called Vicky and told her that he didn't want to hurt her anymore and that he wasn't going to try for a relationship with her, only his kids. I'm sure he told Vicky about our conversation because she's been blowing up my phone, oh no, telling me that I ruined her chance at happiness, that I destroyed her family, and that I should have kept my opinions to myself. No, no, no! My mother has also been sending me messages telling me that I'm a home wrecker, and that I should have just let them work things out instead of ruining 2 innocent kids' lives and families. Am I the asshole? No, OP, you are not the asshole. Your mum is an asshole. Vicky is hurt and therefore acting assholey, and Joe is an asshole. You are not the homewrecker. Joe is. You are not ruining those kids' lives. Joe is. Joe, and also any person who is enabling the pressure to force together this square peg in a circular hole that isn't wanting to fit. That is the source of the assholiness. You were asked your opinion. You did the right thing. You said the right thing, and ultimately the right thing has happened because you, OP, had the balls to say it how it is. And you know what? In time, everyone else will appreciate that too. When Vicky feels stable, either being by herself or with someone new who actually respects her, when the kids grow up with a good and healthy co-parenting dynamic instead of like a very toxic household where two people clearly don't want to be together, are forced together. And I just don't get it, because then the kids then feel the blame for that happening, and it's not something that they ever wanted in the first place. Ooh, families are so messed up. But I am so clear on my conviction here. No one can tell me otherwise. You are totally not the asshole. Not the asshole. You sought out your advice, you gave him a reasonable answer, and the right one, in my opinion. Not the asshole, poor Vicky, but it really sounds like it's for the best. Her expectations and self-respect is at an all-time low because of this guy, and she thinks the best that she deserves is some cheater, but she is wrong, and if she can get past the pain and victimhood, I'm sure there are plenty of great people who would be interested. I appreciate the sentiment of this, and I agree. I think Vicky is taking out on you when her real pain and hurt is at Joe, which she doesn't feel like she can feel pain and hurt for, because right now she's feeling like she's in the wrong for doing something to make Joe cheat, when the reality is he is a fully autonomous being. He has made the decision to be an asshole, and Vicky needs to put him in the bin. It's as simple as that. Ooh, okay. I'm feeling my blood boiling now. This has been a tough one. Should we do one more? All right. Am I the asshole? Because I want my stepdaughter to live with her mum for a while. My husband and I have a 14-year-old daughter together. Let's call her Maisie. Maisie's such a cute name. I used to watch this TV show about Maisie, who was a little mouse. She's really adorable. Anyway, he also has a 17-year-old daughter with his ex. Let's call her Danielle. For some reason, Danielle hates Maisie. Babe, it's not for some reason. It's textbook psychology. Danielle has been in Dad's life for 3 years before Maisie even came into her life. Now Maisie is here as well, threatening the dad-daughter dynamic, along with you, another woman that's not her mum. Like, come on, this is a lot of pressure. She's hormonal, she's 17, and she's inflicting the pain on the easiest target, which is not fair, but textbook psychology. It's like she hates sharing her dad with anyone. Ba-dum. Light bulb. She never accepted me or Maisie in her life, even though I've been in her life since she was 1. My husband bought a car for Danielle when she turned 16. We asked her if she could take Maisie to school with her because their schools are close, but she refused to do so. That's not a problem. It is a problem. Sounds like Danielle's being quite buttholey here. I'm not gonna lie, you know, like, I get it. Family dynamic. You've had 16 years of this. 14 years with Maisie. You've been given a car. Like, be a nice sibling, you know? Like, the train's left the station. This is a family now. You gotta get on board. But if that's not the problem, what is the problem? Maisie walks to school every day. Yesterday, she sprained her ankle on the way back home. She saw Danielle driving by and waved for her to stop. Danielle stopped and asked her if she's hurt. She said yes. Danielle said okay and left. That is right out of a coming-of-age teenage movie. This is a total Wild Thing moment. This is Mean Girls. This is Scream Queens. This is I Know What You Did Last Summer. And this is a means for grounding, in my opinion. That's so friggin' rude. The audacity. Maisie had to walk back home like that. I was seeing red when I heard what happened. I can just imagine that conversation. Little Maisie being like, why doesn't she love me? I hurt myself, blah, 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 blah. To be fair, I am like victimizing Maisie in my head. But I feel like it's a reasonable thing to do considering this reporting of events. To be honest, I can't tolerate her behaviour anymore, so I asked my husband to just send her to live with her mum for a while. This is not the first time that she's done something like this, and I'm so tired of her. My husband, of course, thinks I'm an asshole for suggesting that. Am I the asshole? Here's the thing, babe. Yeah, you're the asshole. You're a pretty big asshole, but you know who else is an asshole? Danielle is also an asshole. I was gonna say everybody sucks here, but it's not everybody. It's just you and Danielle. You know what makes you the bigger asshole? You are a parent. This is literally happening because Danielle feels threatened within her family network, and you have now come along. I don't know if Danielle is aware of this, but you've now gone, I'm gonna put this person's status in this family network even more at risk. I don't want her here anymore. That's not gonna feel good. That's not gonna feel good to a teenager who has school and friends and life and hormones. That's definitely not going to help her relationship with Maisie at all, or you, because she's going to resent you so hard for taking her away from everything that she knows, and I just don't think that, you know, like, putting someone in a different house is the right way to go. Just imagine for a second this was a more traditional family unit, and there wasn't another mum to ship Danielle off to. Would you be going, I don't like you, so I'm going to kick you out for this? No, you wouldn't. This just feels like part of parenting, and I feel like what OP is doing here is running away and not parenting very well. And maybe I'm going too far, but just from what I can see as well, seems to me like maybe, especially because she's jumped to this conclusion, OP is not treating Danielle with the same sort of equality level in the family as Maisie, and that's not going to feel nice. Do you know what I mean? If she's thinking, oh, I can just ship Danielle off whenever I want to, maybe that's why Danielle's feeling so threatened in her family network and not accepting Maisie. Maybe there's a double standard that we're not seeing, that Danielle is absolutely feeling, and that you're just making absolutely worse by suggesting such a thing as this. No, this is just not good for me. You are the asshole, says Reddit. This is when you parent. I'm sure she feels like Maisie replaced her. Has she had therapy? Sounds like she could use some to work through her feelings. Good luck. That's a very kind way of saying parent. You are the asshole that needs to suck it up and put on your big girl pants and parent. I'm gonna bet that Maisie never does anything wrong in your eyes and that it's all Danielle's fault. If that's how you view them, you might also want to seek help for yourself. That is harsh, but I see where it's coming from, and there may be an element of truth to it. Ooh, OP is not the asshole. The dad is the asshole, says this person, for not stepping in and disciplining his own daughter. It's not OP's responsibility to discipline his stepdaughter, because if she did, it would cause even more problems and likely make her act out even more. Oh, but now the stepmom saying, I'm disciplining you by literally kicking you out the house, makes you not the asshole. I feel like there's some logic missing here from this comment. And I also just don't like the idea that just being a step-parent alone means that you can't, like, also be involved in discipline. Like, I think if you're co-parenting, you're co-parenting. Obviously, it depends on the boundaries. And because we haven't heard otherwise, it doesn't sound like the dad is the only one doing the parenting here. So I wholeheartedly disagree with this, to be honest. But like buttholes, everyone has an opinion. Ooh! I feel like this was a very heavy one today. What do you think, Peaches? Are we on the same wavelength? Are we not? Let me know downstairs in the comment section. Just be kind. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Please subscribe. It truly, truly helps me out. And as you can see here, most of the people that do watch these videos don't sub. So if you're not subbed but you'd like to, I would like that too. I will see you next time with another video. Be kind and have a great day. Bye.